I'm here with Joe Carton today, the General Manager of Courtyard Burlington Harbor here in Burlington, Vermont. Thank you for having us, Joe.
You're welcome, Alan. Appreciate you being here. We're excited to be focused in the greater Boston area on public television.
Oh, certainly. I'm sure we're not the only ones that look to Vermont for a nice vacation, especially as winter comes. I'm sure with the ski season, you guys get pretty busy.
It does. The winter's a great season, but ironically in Vermont, the summer's the busiest. From May through October, it's probably the busiest time frame, with August being probably the best month, because everyone's looking to get away from the heat of the urban areas, and Vermont's a great destination and great getaway.
Oh, certainly. It's absolutely beautiful up here, especially this hotel you're running, I must say. And would you like to mention how long you've had this hotel?
Sure. I'll give you a little history of the downtown Burlington area. In the 1970s, this whole area on the lake was an urban renewal area, and had been an old Italian neighborhood, and it got totally revamped. There's now a Hilton Hotel next door, a big interior mall, and the Church Street Marketplace, which is an open-air pedestrian mall. And then we built this hotel opened in April of 2007, so it's only 4.5 years old, and it's kind of the last bastion of space as part of that urban renewal development that started in the mid-1970s.
Oh, wow. And you're right here by the lake, right on the waterfront?
Yeah, we're really fortunate with a great location. For years, this was just a parking lot, and free parking at that. And one of our owners who lives locally had a vision that another hotel was required downtown, and we certainly have proved that to be true. And Marriott's been a great brand for that. But we got beautiful views over Lake Champlain, and then just a short little walk to the Church Street Marketplace. So it's a great location in downtown Burlington.
Oh, certainly. It's real simple to get to. Right next to downtown. You have all sorts of stuff going on around here. What are some of the amenities that you offer here at your hotel?
Well, we're a unique hotel in that in the Marriott family of brands, we're a Courtyard brand, and typically to most travelers that means a business traveler, or what we call a select service brand. But we're a bit of a hybrid due to our location. That we've got a lot of leisure travelers that love to come to Burlington, want to stay downtown. So we offer room service, we offer breakfast and a very nice dinner. We've got a nice bar downstairs. We offer entertainment on the weekends with a little jazz club Friday and Saturdays. So it's not only a Courtyard hotel that caters a lot to the business traveler, we really try to put a lot of emphasis on other services that the leisure traveler enjoys.
Oh, certainly, and being so close to like the University of Vermont and the other colleges around here, I'm sure you get lots of travelers for there as well.
We do. We've got a lot of spillover with parents coming to visit, sports teams that come and play at the university, whether it be University of Vermont, St. Michael's College is another feeder into this Burlington area. So we're really fortunate being in a good location. We've got a great staff that loves to see repeat guests, and we treat them great.
Oh, certainly. We met Jamie Smith earlier, your executive chef. And,
he's done wonders in the food and beverage department. We offer farm to table breakfast and dinners. We're part of the Vermont Fresh Network with respect to utilizing local food and turning it into some terrific dishes. So we've got great reviews from a lot of guests, and a lot of locals come as well.
Oh, certainly. Everything he did was absolutely amazing. The little garnish and the presentation, just over the top of what I would expect.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because it is his food is terrific. So, and he's got several other cooks that do a terrific job as well. So we're really proud of what we've been able to produce from a food and beverage.
I'm here today with Jamie Smith, the executive chef here at the Courtyard Marriott here in Burlington, Vermont. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
To start off with today, I'd like to ask you about how long you've been here.
I've been here with Westport Hospitality for the last 2 years. I've been executive chef of this property for 1.5 years of that 2 years.
Okay, and where did you pick up all your culinary training?
Well, I'm originally from Maine, and I started to cook in restaurants all through high school. Growing up, graduated from high school, and I went to culinary school down in Johnson, Wales, and Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
From there, I traveled down to the Caribbean and was the executive chef of 2 different resort companies down in the Caribbean. And then I took a job on a private yacht for about a year and a half and was the private chef aboard of that. And ended up moving back up here to the Northeast to be closer to my family again.
All right, that's a lot of training, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's been pretty much my career for my entire life. I'm coming on 23 or 24 years in the kitchen, so.
All right, and would you say all that experience working in different kitchens has helped you be the executive chef here?
I really hope so, yeah, I believe so. The owners here of the Courtyard Marriot give me a lot of flexibility and freedom to work with the menu, change the menu as the seasons change, and really to develop a menu that caters to our clientele, which is a lot of business travelers and families as well. So we have to kind of cover both aspects of that. But they give me a lot of creative freedom to change the menus and to change specials to really accommodate the needs of our guests.
Okay, and what are some of the new specials that you have come up with during your time here?
One of the best-selling dishes that we have on the menu now is a seared tuna dish that's served with a chili lime sauce and a radish salad on the side. That's one of our hot-selling dishes. We do a lot of seafood. We have a connection with a seafood vendor in Boston who brings up fresh fish 3 times a week. So we do quite a bit with the seafood that tends to be really nice for guests up here in Burlington, Vermont, to have fresh seafood, because obviously we're nowhere near the ocean. So
certainly. Now that would probably all your time aboard the private yacht and everything in the Caribbean, that probably is where the seafood came from.
It surely did help, yeah. Plus being from Maine originally, being from the coast, I've just been fascinated with seafood my entire life. So.
All right. Well, what's your favorite dish that you make here?
My favorite dish that we have tonight, I actually have a sesame seared salmon dish, which is very nice, which is cooked in a sesame oil seared with black and white sesame seeds, and then that's finished off in the oven, and it's topped with a little bit of soy reduction that's sweetened slightly, served with rice and veg, and that's what I had for dinner, so I'd have to say that's my special tonight.
All right. Certainly, it sounds delicious. It also sounds really labor intensive. How many people do you have helping you in the kitchen?
Right now I have a staff of 8 in the kitchen, 3 to 4 breakfast daytime cooks, and then 3 or 4 nighttime cooks as well.
All right, and so does it get pretty busy in here then?
We do quite a good amount of business. We also have 3 different banquet rooms down the hallway, so we do all the catering for the banquet rooms as well. Quite a few weddings per year, plus we serve breakfast 7 days a week here in the dining room, as well as dinner 7 nights a week. So it keeps us busy.
Definitely. You can't be here all the time.
Not all the time, and I'm fortunate enough to to have some strong help in the kitchen and have some guys that I can really rely on when I'm not able to be here.
Oh, certainly. You want to go ahead and head on back and check it out?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. So one of the specials that we have tonight is a sesame seared salmon. I'm going to work on that for you guys. So with this dish, what I do first is take the salmon fillet, coat it with the black and white sesame seeds. Then what I use is toasted sesame oil. This really adds another depth and layer of flavor to the dish that you don't get if you're searing with just olive oil or butter. You're gonna let that get nice and hot before we add the fish. I mean, real busy nights when we have banquets and a lot of stuff going on, we can easily serve 100 plus people, 150 people. Really depends on what's going on. The typical dining room is not always that busy, but with banquets, we can be quite busy. So what I'm gonna do here is get a really good sear on this salmon. And what it's actually doing in the process of cooking the fish is also toasting the sesame seeds. So it adds, again, another depth and a layer of complexity of flavor to the dish. So those toasted sesame seeds and the sesame oil together really are kind of the secrets to this dish coming out so well. One of the things with fish you really want to do is not move it around before it has a nice good sear on it. That's what happens when it sticks to the pan, is people try to move it too soon. So I'm going to take the spatula here and give it a quick flip. We got that nice caramelization of the fish and the toasted sesame seeds. Then this is going to pop in the oven for about 8 minutes to finish up. For a side item tonight, we have some beautiful broccolini. So we'll also do a side of wild rice pilaf to go with our fish. Another minute or two, the fish will be ready. Our rice is heating up. We have some broccolini that's blanched over here for veg. I'm gonna toss that real quick, a little bit of clarified butter. A little salt and pepper, of course. Just a tiny pinch of fresh garlic. And by this time, our fish should be just about all set. Right on the center of the plate. Clean up the plate just a little. Have a soy reduction, which is a little bit of soy sauce reduced with a little brown sugar, which makes a nice accompaniment to the fish. Little goes a long way. Then I have one of our signature garnishes here at the Courtyard Burlington is turned watermelon radish. Just adds a little tiny bit of spice, complexity, and a little bit of that fresh flavor to the dish, as well as being beautiful for presentation. So there we have it, sesame seared salmon.
and we're back from the kitchen where Jamie just prepared us this beautiful sesame seared salmon, and it absolutely looks delicious. Would you like to go over it once again?
Absolutely. So I have a fresh salmon fillet that is crusted in white and black peppercorns, seared in sesame oil. It's served with an accompaniment of wild rice pilaf, broccolini, and some turned watermelon radish.
All right, it absolutely looks delicious. The presentation is amazing, and I guess all that's left is let's eat.
Let's eat.
So what other services do you provide within the hotel for activities on a day like today?
Sure, yeah. We do offer an indoor pool and a jacuzzi hot tub within the pool area. We have a fitness center with several elliptical machines, free weights, Stairmasters, so, as well as the restaurant that I mentioned where we serve breakfast and dinner daily. We have got a bar that opens from 4 to 11 daily. We have a complimentary business center where guests can use their IMAX. And then we've got a beautiful garden terrace that sits right out as the entryway that people can sit and enjoy if it's a nice sunny day, a cup of coffee or a glass of wine in the evening. So it's a great, not quite full service, but there's a lot of amenities to come and enjoy.
Would you like to tell us about the different rooms you offer here at the hotel?
Sure. As I mentioned, we have 161 rooms, and about 44 of those are directly facing the lake. So they're direct westerly views, and they're a combination of king beds or a room with 2 queen beds. And we've got some really unique, we call them spa kings, where there's an open shutter in the living room that opens up to a nice jacuzzi tub and a corner shower. And then we've got 2 hospitality suites that have open decks on the 9th floor that overlook either the city of Burlington or Lake Champlain. So those are just very unique rooms, very unique suites, and they're very popular with the travelers that come and stay with us.
A place this size, it must take quite a sizable staff to run everything.
Well, that's the challenge is getting good people, getting them engaged about why they're here. But we're really fortunate, again, in the respect that we've been able to attract some terrific employees, and we've kept them since we've opened. Not all, certainly we had some turnover, but some of the core staff has been here since the spring of 2007, and we've been able to add 34 guest rooms since we opened. We opened with 127 rooms, now we have 161 rooms. So our long-range plan was to add those 34 rooms in about 5 years, and we were able to do it in 2.5 years. So it just shows that the market was strong, and we were able to capitalize on that.
Oh, certainly. And before you were talking about your busiest time being over the summer.
Yes.
Would you like to kind of talk about the seasons and
Sure.
How they affect your business?
Sure. In this area, certainly the summer is the lake is the greatest natural attraction for visitors. In any tourism type destination, it's always good to be around water. And we were really fortunate. This is Senator Leahy, our senior senator, had tried to get this as a 6th Great Lake, but maybe for about a couple of months that was possible. But it's 120 miles long, stretches from south of New York, not New York City, but into New York State and into Quebec. And here in Burlington, it's the widest point is 12 miles across. So you really don't think of Lake Champlain as that big, but it's a significant piece of water. And there's great historical battles that have been fought on Lake Champlain. Benedict Arnold, the Revolutionary War, the French-Indian War. There's tremendous shipwrecks right off the Burlington Bay. So we look at the summer as kind of the prime time. So many people are on vacation, of course. We're close, 90 miles from Montreal. We're 5 hours from Ottawa, and we're a great thoroughfare from the Canadians either going to the maritime provinces in Canada or down to Cape Cod and south into New York City.
Oh, certainly. You're right in the middle of it all, it seems like.
That's another just a great location for travelers, and most of our traffic comes via car. Just people and families traveling, but more and more we've seen more international visitors from the UK, from Germany, Japan, and being a small state, we're kind of the largest city in a small state, so most of the finance happens here. We've got a beautiful Trauma One medical center, and there's a lot of traffic, a lot of demand generators through being a small city.
Oh, certainly. Sounds like there's a lot of things that really, separate this hotel and, Burlington itself from the rest of Vermont up here.
Yes, most of Vermont's very rural, and Burlington's still considered rural by most standards, but it's been a really good marriage of being able to develop some real cultural activities in Burlington. We have several performing arts centers. The Flynn Center right on Main Street has great performing arts and acts that come in. There's a waterfront theater right behind us at the Burlington waterfront. At the University of Vermont, there's the Royal Tyler Theater. There's great museums. The Shelburne Museum just down the road about 5 miles, which is like 19th century Americana. Echo right across the street is kind of a Lake Champlain aquarium. So there's tons of activities, and it's great outdoor activities too for bicycling, running, rollerblading. There's a skate park right across the street on the waterfront for skateboarders, and obviously we haven't even mentioned the winter activities with downhill skiing and alpine skiing and ice skating and ice fishing and you name it.
Oh, certainly. This place just seems filled with activities. So what really sets you apart from your competition out here?
Well, one of the unique aspects, as I told you, we're 4.5 years old, and we're owned by local owners, and they wanted to kind of celebrate a lot of the local artists. So as you come in, there's local art that surrounds the lobby, and each elevator floor, as you get off the elevators, there's a huge blown-up picture of a historical Burlington and the waterfront. And in the guest rooms, there's a artist called Shane Lynn who takes beautiful shots of the Burlington waterfront. So we've got beautiful color photos of the ice in February, with the sun bouncing off the lake. It's just gorgeous. So we think being local, we celebrate a lot of the local art, a lot of the local music that I mentioned that we bring in every Friday and Saturday evening. And we like to feel that we are a company that celebrates locals. We live here. We want everybody to understand that the hospitality is genuine and local. And if you've got an issue, you can call the owner, you can call the manager, and we'll take care of it for you.
Oh, certainly. And is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers about your hotel here?
If you come to visit Burlington, we would love to share the space with you. It's a great location, as you mentioned several times. You can walk to everything. You can park your car and walk to the Church Street Marketplace, which has local shops, restaurants, boutiques, all within an open, friendly pedestrian mall. You can take your son, there's a fishing pier right across the street. You can rent a fishing pole and get some worms in the corner store and teach your son how to fish or your daughter how to fish. There are 2 public beaches within walking distance. If you walk there, there's no charge. So bring your bathing suit. You can take a sailboat ride out on Lake Champlain with some private, small little sailboats, 34, 50 feet. So there's just a lot to do. Or you can just gaze and look at the beautiful sunset over the Adirondacks. And ponder great things about Vermont.
Oh, certainly. And if people wanted to come up here and stay, how could they get a hold of you?
Well, the best way is to get us at Marriott.com and just type in Burlington, Vermont, and all the Marriotts in that location will come up. Or you can get us specifically at Marriott.com/BTVDT, which goes right to our website. Or you can call us at 802-864-4700. And we're on Facebook and Twitter as well. So follow us.
Yeah, I noticed on your on Yelp and pretty much all the other. Well, once again, thank you for having us out here, Joe, and we look forward to possibly coming back and seeing you again.
Well, great. Thanks a lot.
I'm here with Mary Beth and Marcel from Injun Joe Court here in West Danville, Vermont. Thank you for having us out here.
Oh, thank you.
How long have you all been running this establishment here?
We've been here since 1971.
Oh, wow. And has it been just like this the whole time, or?
A little, pretty much. We made a few changes. We added a few buildings. When we first got here, there was no residence for us to live in. We had sold our house that we were living in before. So we bought this, business in the spring, and we ran it all during the first summer. And my father, who built a house for us that during the fall, so we could have a place to live in the wintertime, because these cabins aren't insulated. They're just cabins, seasonal cabins.
All right. And so how long have you been running the seasonal cabin business? Since then?
Yes.
All right. And how many cabins do you currently operate?
We have 15 cabins.
Oh, wow. And it's been that way since you started up?
Well, there was a few less at that time. We added 2 more.
All right. And what have you noticed kind of brings people out this way?
Well, we're in the country, so people like to come up here to get away from the big cities, and we have a lot of natural sights here: the ponds, the hills, the leaves at this time of year for people to look at.
Oh, definitely. I'm sure lots of people come up to see the leaves. It's probably one of the biggest attractions this time of year.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Now, what is it that kind of sets you apart from other places around here?
Well, we try to, keep with like a family atmosphere. We treat everyone like their family, and I think people really like, that kind of, treatment. It's, it's very low, it's just very friendly here.
Oh, certainly. Because you're seasonal, what time of year are you guys open?
We usually open for Memorial Weekend and around the middle of May.
Okay.
And we stay open until about the middle of October, depending on the weather, because the cabins, like I said before, they're heated, but they're not insulated, and so we could run into problems if we, stay open too late. Once the snow starts to fly, it's time for us to close.
Certainly, especially being way up here in Vermont, I'm sure it gets cold pretty quick sometimes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, I notice there's all sorts of nice hiking trails and everything around here, and all sorts of bike trails and stuff through the country. Now, would you like to maybe talk a little bit about some of the more scenic stuff out here?
Well, what people have told us about coming to Vermont from down country is they like to ride around the back roads, and there's you can see a lot of sights from the main highways, but once you get off the beaten path a little bit onto the back roads, you can see a lot more, of the Vermont scenes. And it's very pretty, especially usually this time of year. But the foliage this year I don't believe, as good as normal. We've had a lot of rain, and Irene didn't help us out either.
Oh, certainly not. I was actually just talking about that on our way here, how it's so beautiful, but I kind of wish the foliage would have changed a bit more this year.
Yes, it was quick. It was a peak here in this area for about 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Earlier, about the end of last week. And then it changed really quick, plus the weather, last weekend really didn't help either.
All right. And so everybody that comes here gets their own little cabin. Would you like to talk maybe about the differences in some of the cabins as far as what you offer?
Well, our cabins are kind of diverse. We have cabins that can accommodate 2 or 4 people. We have some cabins that don't have any kitchens. We call those are the cabins, and the cottages have kitchens in them. So we have a wide variety of cabins. We have some that are just overnights for 1 or 2 people. Then we have some with 2 bedrooms, which can accommodate 4 to 5 people. And then the bigger housekeepings have 2 and 3 bedrooms. So we can, accommodate quite a few more people with those. Well, the cabins are well furnished. There's the modern amenities. Nowadays we have the little microwaves and refrigerators for people to, if they want to bring something, keep it cold or warm it up. We have running water with heat, so that's a different plus. And we also have cable TV, which was back when we first bought the cabins. There were, nothing. We had maybe 2 or 3 channels. And
what sort of amenities or activities do you all offer, especially over the summertime?
Well, in the summertime, we have the lake right in front of the business here, so we have boats that are free for our guests, you know, and we also have a pontoon boat, which, you know, people like to take out. We have a very scenic pond in front here. It's 3 miles long from one end to the other, Joe's Pond, and it's a very nice. It takes about an hour to go around, so the pontoon business works out well too. It gives people a chance to, you know, look at the local camps and enjoy the water. And we have we have 2 or 3 families of loons out on the pond. So there we always have those around. People wake up in the morning listening to the loons.
All right. Well, is there anything else you would like people to know about your location here? Or?
Well, we're centrally located, you know, in the Northeast Kingdom. There's plenty of activities around here with, you know, with Cabot Creamery. We're close to Ben & Jerry's, you know, there's Burke Mountain, you know, people can come. There's plenty of things to see. We're near Groton State Forest, so people that want to come up and do some hiking, they can go there. And, you know, we're only about an hour from the border, from the Canadian border, so you know, if we have some guests that want to go into Canada for sightseeing there or to go to Montreal, we're not that far away from there either.
All right. And if someone wanted to come up here, maybe in the spring, since you guys are going to be closed for the winter months, how would they go about getting a hold of you?
Well, the easiest way, we're on the internet. We're at enginejoecourt.net. And we're also, our phone number is 802-684-3430. All right. My mother isn't very computer literate, so she does her best work on the phone.
All right. And is there anything else you'd like to say about Engine Joe here, or?
Well, we like it very much. We're here for 40 years, and yeah, I took care of everything. Yeah.
The reason we first found this place was my sisters. I have 4 older sisters, but a few of them worked here as chambermaids, and they liked the place. My mother used to come and pick them up after work, you know, and she saw how nice it was here, and we have a great view of the lake, and you know, she just liked the place, and so she told my father, you know, one day, you should go over there and look, and you know, and look it over, because the people that own the place want to sell. So he waited and he waited, and finally he came over and he fell in love with the place and decided he wanted to buy it right on the spot. So that pretty much made our minds up that we were coming to Injun Joe's because we were farmers before us kids were raised on a farm. And you know, this was a little bit different. We hated to leave our home on the backside of, you know, in Walden. But once we got here, we really fell in love with the place, and it's quite a nice lifestyle, taking care of people. You know, we had a lot of friends. We have a lot of friends that have come up from down country and like the area and have bought, you know, land in the area also. So we've lost a few old customers that way.
We have people from Rhode Island, not Rhode Island, and they come for 38 years.
Oh, Maryland. We had some guests from Maryland. They keep coming back, and they have bought property here locally also.
This year they're going to stay for a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. And you said you originally bought this place from someone else. So how long had it been operating? Had it been operating beforehand?
Well, this business was built by a man named Henry Cook, who was working, who lived, he had a camp here along the pond, but he was working at Fairbanks in St. Johnsbury. And when he would get a little bit of money saved up, he would come up here and he would start building on these cabins. And the cabins, from what we can tell, they started building them in their late 20s. Right. Yeah, so he built a few, and you know, he built a few more. And Mr. Cook did all the work. All these cabins are basically scratch built. They're all handmade. You know, the windows, he built the windows by hand. You know, so when it comes time for me to fix things, we have to rebuild it by hand. You know, very few things were bought. I think he made everything by hand. So it's tough, but it's interesting, and that's part of the niche of this place.
Oh, certainly. And I mean, you can tell just from looking at it, the extreme quality craftsmanship that he put in to all this work.
Yeah, back when they were first built, he used to have little stone, like the stone fireplace here.
Build the fireplace.
Each cabin had a little stone like fireplace inside,
Chimney,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
the-
little,
and all
with
the
the chimney
chimney.
going out through the roof. So they're not like that now. But back when they were, when he was building them, he used to make all the little fireplaces in the cabins by hand. So he did everything. Yeah.
That must have been quite a bit of work to
Yeah,
get
it was.
this whole place
He
to
was
where
pretty
it is.
clever. Mr. Cook was pretty clever to be able to do all that, by hand.
Yeah.
And then it was bought out by the Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and that's who we bought it from. The Joneses operated the cabins for about, 15 years?
17 years,
17
yeah,
years.
17, 18,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we bought Mr. and Mrs. Glenn Jones, and then we bought it from them.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to tell people about Injun Joe's Court?
Do you have anything, Mom?
Well, I guess we don't
Well,
quite a bit
we've been
now.
here. We've been here for, like I said, about 40 years, and we've met some really terrific
Nice
people.
people, yeah.
From all over. We have. It's not unusual for us to have people from Europe stay here, and it's everybody. We treat everybody like family, like I said, and that's why everybody keeps coming back.
So I'm here with Sam Von Trapp from the Von Trapp Family Lodge here in Stowe, Vermont. Thank you for having us, Sam.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
It's our pleasure. First of all, I guess we'll start off by just talking a little bit about your family history.
My family arrived here in Stowe in 1942. I think a lot of people know my family within the context of The Sound of Music. What happened is after they came to the United States, after they left Austria in 1938, they traveled around singing, and they discovered Vermont in 1942, fell in love with it. It reminded them of Austria, and they loved the farming culture here. They loved the views, the outdoor recreation, the maple sugaring. The very first year they made 300 gallons of maple syrup, and they just fell in love with this area and have been here ever since.
All right. And so when did the whole lodge and resort come into it?
So depending on which family member you ask, the family home was turned into a hotel basically in 1949 or 1950. And it continued to grow gradually. Cross-country skiing came in 1968. That was my father's idea to find a great way to make use of all the land that we have here. And at this point we have 2,500 acres of land. So it's a fantastic place for outdoor recreation, whether it's cross-country skiing in the winter, mountain biking in the summer, birding, fishing, hiking, or just sitting out and enjoying the views.
Oh, certainly, and the views out here definitely are spectacular, right on top of the mountain. You want to talk about maybe some of the activities in particular that you offer here, as far as like tours and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's a lot of different opportunities while people are here. A lot of folks join us for as long as a week, and we want to make sure that that they go home saying, "Oh, I never got a chance to do that." So we try to make sure there's so many choices. A lot of times, particularly people who are here for the first time, love to do the history tours. That's an opportunity for them to find out a little bit more about the real story. What was it that brought my family to the United States? What brought them to Vermont? Talk a little bit about the early farming history here, how my family assimilated into life in the United States, and how we grew to be what we are today. But in addition to that, we've got the outdoor recreation, as I say, the cross-country skiing, mountain biking. We've got a brewery here for those who like the indoor recreation a little bit more. A beer garden, classic Austrian-style beer garden. I can never manage to remember all the different options, but horse-drawn wagon rides in the summer, horse-drawn sleigh rides in the winter. The birding is really fantastic. Our naturalist is really amazing. Any moment that I have a chance to spend with him, I'm always learning something. Our kids' activities, our indoor fitness center is amazing. I think we have one of the best indoor swimming pools in the Northeast. 3 different swimming pools in total. So really, no limit to what people can do. A big part of what we try to focus on is education, getting people connected with nature, and helping them return to their home just feeling a little, feeling their soul has been satisfied.
Oh, certainly. And from the looks of it, that's not a hard task to accomplish out here.
It's nice that the nature does most of the work for us. We just kind of set the table and let nature do the rest of the work.
I'm here with Jeff from the Von Trapp Family Lodge. He runs the Mountain Kids Club here. Would you like to maybe explain a little bit about how the Mountain Kids Club got started?
Sure. Well, we wanted, it's a family resort, so the idea is to have lots of things for kids to do on while they're up here. And it also gives mom and dad a little break from having the kids. That way they can go out and do a hike or a bike ride or go for a ski, and their kids are here engaged having fun. Yeah.
All right. So when did you start this club?
This club has been going on for a time. I've been running the kids club for the last 2 years. And we've kind of moved our focus is natural play. Like we like to get the kids outside, interacting with the natural environment. We do hikes through the woods and kind of explore, climb around on trees, rocks, that sort of thing. We're always down at the pond trying to catch frogs and things like that. Yeah, and summertime we'll be out riding bikes as well. We have a disc golf course that we take the kids down to, and winter, of course, is snow play, so we're out snowshoeing, skiing, and that sort of thing, building forts and whatnot.
Oh, certainly. It sounds like a lot of fun, even for some of us older kids.
It's fun for kids of all ages, I guess.
Certainly. You want to maybe talk about where you're at here in the fitness center, and maybe some of the other activities you have on maybe a rainy day like today?
Sure. I mean, we're located in the fitness center upstairs. And on days like this, we do try to get outside still and splash in the puddles, but we go a little bit more of a focus on arts and crafts type of things on rainier days. We also have an indoor rock wall, so we'll get the kids up climbing and using their bodies a little bit that way. Sometimes we'll head down to the yoga room and kind of play around with the physio balls, and we have big cushions down there, so even on rainy days we can still play a little bit, but lots of puzzles and games and books and arts and crafts to do as well.
All right, and is there anything you'd like to tell people if they wanted to bring their kids here? You want to maybe explain the process?
Sure. I mean, you could just stop over to the fitness center, and this is where you sign up. It's helpful if you do sign up ahead of time. That way we can plan accordingly. But walk-ins are welcome as well on a space available basis. This time of year, things are a bit slower. Most kids are back in school, so it's more younger ones at this time of year. Summertime and the holiday weeks, it's definitely helpful when you do stop, when you get to the property, then just stop by and see what's available and open and sign up right at the desk. It's pretty straightforward.
All right, certainly. It sounds great. Too bad I can't hang out and play. But beautiful place you have here. It sounds like a lot of fun. Now you want to talk about, maybe I know you have several different places like the village and the villas and the lodge. You want to maybe tell people a little bit about the different rooms they have a possibility of staying in?
Yeah, we've got basically the idea here was that my dad wanted to concentrate most of the development on a 200-acre area and then let the rest of the land be natural. So here we've got our main hotel, which is 96 rooms, with many of those are suites. We've also got our guest houses, which is time sharing, and then our fractional ownership villas as well. So people really can choose what they'd like. The villas are 3-bedroom, the guest houses are 2-bedroom, and I don't think there's a spot on the property that doesn't have a pretty spectacular view. So a great spot for someone, especially people who are getting away from the city or getting away from a little bit more crowded environment. Just a great place for people to come up to where they can step out the door at any point and be out walking on the trails or just sitting in a chair and watching the deer eat the apples underneath our trees.
Oh, certainly. And you want to talk about maybe why this place is such a great destination for weddings and other, real big like family get-togethers?
Yeah, weddings and family reunions tend to be a real natural here. It's, again, with all the different activities, it's a great way for people to move around, be able to get out and do things together in nature. But also I think the nature of the property having different venues, people being able to have their wedding on the beautiful concert stage, then go across the road to the wedding tent or up behind the lodge to the Mozart room to celebrate. Family reunions being able to go out for a big long hike and then have lunch brought up to them at the cabin, which is about 3 miles out and 800 vertical feet higher than here. So that's a neat one. We actually did that when I had my own family reunion here back when I was in high school. And that's a really popular destination, the cabin, a great spot for people to head up to and be able to go for a hike with a goal, know that they've got somewhere they're heading to. In the winter, we serve food there all day long, so people can know that they can get a hot bowl of soup and a fresh sandwich there.
Oh, sounds like a great little stop on a nice long hike. You want to maybe talk about the area around here? I know we're right in the Green Mountains. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, in Stowe, we're right in the heart of the Green Mountains. We're right here, only an hour's hike from Mount Mansfield, the highest point in Vermont at 4,393 feet. And Stowe's often referred to as the quintessential New England town. It's got the farming history that really gives it that charming culture. It's got the, the old church that often pops up in those classic New England photos, and a really strong community, great cultural opportunities. There's a brand new performing arts center here, which has really added a lot to the mix. So even here in a small town, we're able to see really world-class musicians on a regular basis. And one of the best downhill ski areas, certainly in the East, one of the best in the country. And Stowe Mountain Resort's just been doing an amazing job recently, reinvesting in itself, brand new chairlifts, brand new buildings, and really a fortunate spot for me to be able to grow up, and I'm very lucky that my family chose this location.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like I said, it's absolutely beautiful up here. I think everybody should at least come up once just to check it out.
Well, we find a lot of people come for the first time because of the sound of music, and then they return because of the natural charms of the property. And I often joke about meeting what I refer to as our first-time repeat guests. And it's the people who are here for the first time, but you can just tell they're so taken by the place that I know that we're going to see them a year later. And it's nice to be able to talk with those folks and say, let me know when you're coming back and we'll get out for a ski or a mountain bike ride. It's a great reason for me to tell someone that I can't make it to a meeting when I say, I'd love to, but I've got to go skiing with a guest. So.
And it's a great way to get out there and, go skiing yourself as well.
Absolutely. And the skiing, the outdoors, is a really big part, as I said, of what we do here. My sister and I are both very connected with the outdoors. We were both ski instructors. I followed her into that lifestyle. My family was very supportive of it. They knew that getting out and that we could, when we were young, we could get out and have that great lifestyle, and that there was always time to come back and get involved in the family business. So it's great for us to be able to get out and lead cross-country ski tours, lead hikes. For my sister now, as her daughters are getting a little bit older, they're in school all day long, so now she's able to get out and spend more time with the guests as well. And we regularly lead the history tours here as well. So it's great that to see the surprise on people's faces when they show up for a history tour and we walk in and say, hi, I'm Sam von Trapp, and I'll be leading your history tour today. And it's neat to be able to make people happy like that.
Oh, certainly. And is there anything else you'd like to maybe tell someone that hasn't been here before about what really sets you guys apart?
The brewery is really an exciting project. This was the culmination of a plan my dad had been working on for about 20 years now. He was fascinated with the idea of getting a proper European-style lager here in the United States. It's very hard to find microbrewed lagers, and my father's always been a big fan of craft breweries, but it's been amazing to see how well received it's been. So that's been a really nice addition, especially for some of the younger folks who are looking for something a little more dynamic.
I'm here with Alan here at the Trapp Lager Brewery here at the Trapp Lodge here in Stowe, Vermont. Thank you for having us, Alan.
Thanks for talking.
Oh, certainly. Maybe you want to start off by explaining how you guys got started in the whole brewery business?
Sure, yeah. Myself, I've been in the brewery business for quite some time, and Johannes, from my understanding, has always wanted to do a brewery. So in April of '09, we got together and talked and decided to go forward. And the space we're standing in now was the old bakery, and we fully renovated it and brought the tanks in, some with ease, some with very, very difficult nature. And and crammed as much brewing equipment as we can into a very small space. And so right now we're doing about 1,500 barrels a year.
Oh, wow. Yep. That's mainly just for here on location, or do you also distribute?
We're all over the state of Vermont. We've got about 70 draft accounts around the state. So we do about a third of our volume here, and the other 2/3 go throughout the state.
Okay, and maybe you want to explain to our viewers a little bit about your brewing process here?
Sure, yeah, we designed this brewery with Johannes' vision of doing a Bavarian-style lager, so a very traditional style beer that you find in the small towns in Austria and Germany. Okay. And so we designed the equipment and got very specific tanks so that we can produce that type of beer. We have fantastic water here that allows us to produce a very clean, crisp lager beer. So we do the traditional German method of decoction, which is actually we're boiling the mash, and then we pump it over to another vessel where we then run out the sugar water. So it's a much longer process, much more in-depth, detailed process, but we think the results are in the product.
Yes, they definitely speak for themselves. You want to maybe explain some of the different types of beers that you brew here, maybe your seasonal items?
Sure, yeah, we do 3 year-round beers. So Helles is our golden lager, Vienna is our amber lager, and Dunkel is like a dark brown lager. But the thing with lagers is they all finish, lagers you're looking for balance. So they're all very clean, crisp beers. We get a lot of people saying, our dark lager, oh, I don't like dark beers, but then they have that style of beer and it still drinks very easy and very clean. So then we throw in a 4th beer to keep us and everybody else interested. And at this time of year, the seasonal is Oktoberfest, of course, being October outside. And then we'll have a holiday beer coming up. We do a black lager, we do a summer lager. So we try to mix it up as we can fit those specialty beers into our process.
Well, definitely. You want to talk maybe about where you get your ingredients from for the brewing process?
Sure. Yeah, all of our malt comes from Germany, Heidelberg, Germany, and our hops come from Germany as well. A few come from Czechoslovakia, but for the most part, it's all European hops, and you need the right ingredients to make that style of beer. But really, I think what sets us apart is our water source here. Our water is just amazing for this style of beer.
Oh, certainly. Well, so what's your favorite beer that you make here?
It's a trick question. It depends on the day. It really does. I think you got to enjoy all types, and it really depends on where I'm at and what day to see what kind of beer I'm into.
Oh, definitely. I went through and tried them all, and I still can't pick a favorite myself.
Right,
so
right.
Definitely pretty tough. Is there anything else you'd like to tell people about the brewery here?
We've got a great location up here. Beautiful spot to sit back and enjoy beer. We've got a wonderful beer garden outside, and come on up and visit us.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to explain maybe your hours and what time people can come up here?
The brewery itself, you're actually fortunate. You got some connections here. The brewery itself, I don't know if you can see through the camera, but we're very, very tight on space. So the brewery is not open to the public. But upstairs, we've got a deli and a bakery, and they're open 7 p.m. till 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that what sets this place apart, there's just something special about this location. You find that in a lot of places where you can't put your finger on it. There's just something special. And we have one of our villa owners told us that the first time he arrived here, he drove up the hill, he got out of the vehicle, he hadn't had a meal, he hadn't stepped into the hotel, but he said, I know that I will always come back to this place. And we just feel really fortunate to be here. Whenever I get off a plane coming back from a crowded area, it really reminds me just what a special opportunity we have to share a location like this with people.
Oh, definitely. And if anybody was interested in coming here, either just for a tour or to stay for a night or even a week, how would they go about getting a hold of you?
Yeah, we're easy to find. You can find us on the web at trappfamily.com, Trapp family.com. And they can reach us by phone as well. 800-826-7000, I believe, is our 800 number. And definitely would encourage anyone who's looking to get away and soothe their soul a little bit.
Well, thank you for having us yet again, Sam.
Stowe Mountain Lodge first was conceived about 10 years ago and the property opened after 3 years of construction in 2008. And we're certainly very proud of the property. It's an incredible facility. Skiing is one of our big attractions. We are a ski-in, ski-out facility, and right outside our door is Stowe Mountain Resort, which we think is the premier ski area in the Northeast. And so skiing is a huge part of the attraction in the winter. But there's also great cross-country skiing as well, and snowshoeing facilities. Lots of outdoor winter activities to do. We have a great and special ski valet service where we take your skis and boots from the moment that you drive up to the facility. We store them for you, we heat your boots, and then provide service every morning for you to be able to pick up your equipment before you hit the slopes. We have 2 golf courses, the Stowe Mountain Club, which is right outside the door of the hotel, and then also the Stowe Country Club, which is closer down to Stowe Village. And both golf courses are very popular, and the Stowe Mountain Club is probably the more challenging of the 2 courses. The Stowe Mountain Club is a private member club, but if you stay at Stowe Mountain Lodge, you do have access to the golf course. The spa is truly a world-class spa. It's been rated as one of the top spas in the United States. It's a large facility, but very luxurious. And we also have a salon in the spa, which does manicures, pedicures, and hair treatment as well. So we're very proud of the facility. It's 20,000 square feet. The Healing Lodge is part of our spa, and it features a hot tub, steam facilities, sauna facilities, rain showers, and all of our guests love to go in there. It gets very busy all the time. Last year we introduced a new component to our spa, which is a special area for kids to be able to use the spa, with treatments and fun, exciting activities for them that are spa related. We have a signature restaurant which is called Solstice, and we feature in particular farm-to-table product, work a lot with the local farmers. We also have a lounge that connects with the restaurant called the Hourglass Lounge, where we feature particularly après-ski popular items. And then we've got the beautiful upper lobby of the hotel where we also serve beverage and food service during the winter season as well. Like any large hotel, we have different room types and different sizes, anything from studio rooms to 2 and 3 bedroom suites. We also have a hotel within a hotel, which is our front 4 facility, which are fractionalized condominiums. And for those guests that really enjoy themselves here, they have the opportunity of being able to buy one of the units in the hotel. There's lots of other attractions such as hiking, a lot of mountain biking facilities. Ben & Jerry's factory is close by. Lots of people love that. And Stowe Village has wonderful shopping as well. And it's a very quintessential town, and people love going down there to check out the stores. In addition, one other point is that we have a fleet of Mercedes cars, and any guest who is registered and staying in the lodge can take them for a test drive. So that's very popular with our guests. Just check on our website, which is stowemountainlodge.com, and hopefully we will look forward to everybody coming to visit.